The Smythe, Edmonton and Winnipeg are tied for first place, and the Jets have a game in hand. The Heat was taken off the Oilers with 2 wins over the New York Rangers, a come-from-behind 8-6 effort, and then an overtime win on Glenn Anderson's goal. These games cost Ted Sater his job in New York. Trade rumors still abound in Edmonton. Mike Krushelnyski's name is mentioned by those who can pronounce it. And Glenn Anderson, in what would be a bigger deal, has also been rumored to be leaving Edmonton. But the last 2 wins have helped the Oilers, and they'll go for another one tonight as they host the Vancouver Canucks on Hockey Night in Canada. Vancouver Canucks are last in the Smythe division and just 1 point better than last in the full NHL standings. But they do have the hottest scorer in the league. Petri Skriko has 7 goals in 2 games, tying a Vancouver club record that stood for 14 years. 7 years ago, Wayne Gretzky scored his first ever NHL goal against Vancouver. And if he should register a hat trick tonight, he would also score his 500th career goal against the Vancouver Canucks. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Hockey Night in Canada from the Northlands Coliseum in Edmonton. I'm Dave Hodge. Some people around the NHL are asking what's wrong with the Edmonton Oilers. Well, let's ask Glenn Sater if he's asking himself that, and if so, what kind of answers are you hearing?
Well, I don't think there's anything wrong with our team in particular. I think that the rest of the league has improved an awful lot. I thought that our team may have improved over the summer, but obviously at this point in time we haven't improved. But I feel that we're going in the right direction. I think that we've made some changes in our team that are going to help us. I think that we're not that far off the pace we were on last year, and everyone was saying how we're running away with the league, and we've got a couple of losses more than we had in the past, but I don't think it's something that time is probably going to correct for us. I feel that there's too many good players in our hockey club and in our organization that aren't going to be able to stand this kind of play continually, and I think they're going to get better. So I really don't think there's a whole lot wrong.
Are the trade rumors right or wrong, good or bad?
I've heard so many trade rumors, I'm not sure which ones I'm even talking about any longer. I've talked to a lot of people about making some trades, but I don't think it's anything any different than what I've done in the past. I think that we always have to try and improve our hockey club. If there's somebody there that's going to help us, we're certainly going to make a deal.
Is it possible Gretzky could come out of the lineup to get his toe fixed?
I told him he needs to get a tow truck and then fix it. But no, I don't think he's going to come out of the lineup. He's got a badly bruised toe from banging the end of his skate, and what's happened is that there's another piece of toenail growing underneath it, and I think that time will cure it more than anything else.
What about tonight's game against Vancouver?
Well, both the games we played against Vancouver have been tough games. I think they've improved themselves as a hockey team, and we've learned something from the last game that we played with them. We just need to be a little more intense for the entire part of the hockey game. In the last game, we got off slow and finished fast, but I'd like to start fast and finish fast.
Calling the play-by-play tonight will be Bob Cole with John Garrett and Howie Meeker. On Inside Hockey, you'll meet one of the league's best rookies, one of the league's best goalies, Ron Hextall.
Ronnie Hextall, the best young goaltender in the National Hockey League. They call him the new Dryden and the new Billy Smith.
Hockey Night in Canada on CBC will return in just a moment.
Although he now makes his home in California, he is in Edmonton as part of a cross-Canada tour and is here tonight to sing the national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and join us in greeting Tim Thean.
The national anthem coming up, ladies and gentlemen, with Tim Thean.
With glowing hearts
coast to the Northlands Coliseum, and we bid good evening to the officials. Denny Morrell, the referee, Ryan Bozak, and Jim Christensen are the linesmen. Now we say a good evening to 19-year-old Troy Gamble out of Medicine Hat, Alberta, in his very first NHL game. He was the second-round pick in '85 for the Canucks. The veteran Andy Moog is getting the start tonight for the Edmonton Oilers. His backup, of course, Grant Fuhr. Tough night for a goaltender in the NHL, no matter how many years you have, I guess, John, but your first game.
Well, remember, you know, Bob, that playing the Edmonton Oilers, you're going to get lots of work. You'll probably get into the game early, and if you get off to a good start, who knows what can happen.
Curry, Messier, and Krushelnyski are starting for Edmonton. Lowe and Muni are the two defensemen, and that is Curry coming back. Barry Peterson with Smeal and Skriko starting for the Canucks. Lidster and Butcher are the defensemen. And coming back for the puck, Skriko. He had a pass knocked down, nearly set up the first play at the netminder. Young Gamble. In back of the goal goes Lidster, trying to poke it up on the right side. The Canucks look a bit shaky, trying to get organized. Near center is Smeal. He dumps it in. And Moog sends the Oilers away to center ice. Messier flipped it in, and now Edmonton will make changes, and Gretzky is on the ice. 99 in there forechecking. Gretzky takes the puck near center, sidesteps the check. It's thrown into the zone by Sundstrom for the Canucks. Coffey's pass nearly hit Gretzky. Goes all the way down the ice. And Gamble has to play it in behind the net to the other side. Greg kept it in at the blue line. It's tipped away by Tandy. Tandy, number 9, into the corner. He flipped it in around the boards. T tried to clear it out and did. And Greg for Edmonton. Back with Coffey. Coffey is starting up. Right wing pass, and here's Gretzky. Gretzky in, takes a look in front. Off the goal post. A good setup by Gretzky. Gretzky again. Tikkanen scores. Gretzky jammed it in. Tikkanen hit the post. Gretzky all over the place on this play. And he gets a goal. 498 in his career.
That one bounced in off a Canuck defenseman, but the play all started when Michel Petit turned his back on Wayne Gretzky and then had to play catch-up. The first shot, Tikkanen hits the post. The puck goes behind the net. Gretzky brings it around, and the defenseman is way over the other side. He shoots it towards the net, and it goes in off Rick Lance.
Oh, yeah, shaky start for the youngster. It's too bad, but that's Edmonton. That's Gretzky.
Well, he made a real sharp move, and the puck that went off the post had it been on the net, he'd have made the save. And he moved laterally very, very well. So let's see what happens from here on in, Bob.
1:37, the time of the first goal of the hockey game. Anderson and Tikkanen got assists on the Gretzky goal. 1-0 Edmonton. Now the Canucks trying to get it going. Butcher played it up to center. Cleared in on that far side by Lowry, 22. Lowry jammed out of the play and along the boards behind Andy Moog. Center ice again. It's Huddy starting in for the Oilers. Flipped the high one in on the boards. Lidster takes it. Passes it ahead. 3 Canucks come out of the zone. And they want to make changes. So they shoot it in and go to the bench. 1-0. Oilers on top on the Gretzky goal early in this first period. Near center, Hunter didn't move in quickly enough. And the Oilers had to come back. McClellan moved it up to the line, and the play is called. First penalty of the hockey game. It's going to be against Edmonton. This is Hockey Night in Canada from the Northlands Coliseum in Edmonton.
Kevin McClellan gets a roughing penalty at 2:50 of the first period, a chance for the Canucks to get back in it. But Barry Peterson doing some good forechecking. Takes McClellan. McClellan reaches around, gives him the glove in the face, and gets the 2 minutes for roughing.
Even though Vancouver is not up there in scoring, they're not noted as a scoring team. That's not news, but they're not bad on the power play situation. They're 12th overall, 21% efficiency. So Tom Watt is looking for the tying goal here, no doubt. 1-0. Edmonton leading. Gretzky got the goal. At at 1:37 from Tikkanen and Anderson. Ambellini fed it ahead. In back of the Edmonton net. That's Lowe trying to pick it up. He can't do it. It goes in around the net. Muni has to hustle in there against Smeal. The Oilers can't get it out. Messier was breaking away. Here's a chance for the Canucks. It's cleared away by Moog. And now Messier will bring it out. Messier stick handles all the way back to his own zone. Killed a few seconds and cleared it down and gets a big hand as he goes off. Gretzky on there again looking for the puck. Randy Gregg has to hurry back. At the far side, that's Sundstrom, 17, trying to set it up in front of Andy Moog. Can do it at the line. Lance keeps it in. It comes right in the slot area. Moog had to be very sharp on Sutter's bid for a goal. Vancouver looking pretty good, controlling it now. From the corner, Sundstrom again hangs on to it. Back to the line. A shot didn't get through. Wait a minute. Tandy gets it back to him again. Petit flipped it to the corner. Oilers cover up, though. And it's got by Lance. Here comes Gretzky breaking in. The goaltender out. Gretzky empty net at the side of the goal. That would have been a dandy. A big gamble by young Gamble. And it nearly backfired. However, no goal. Gretzky looked very, very sharp, taking his time moving around the goaltender, but then hit the side of the net. Here's Lance with a chance. Shot knocked down, and Moog has to hang on to it with Gregg standing there, keeping the Canucks away from the netminder.
Well, the Canucks have been keeping Andy Moog quite busy, but John, I'll tell you something. If Moog continues to go down on his knees from shots well out like that, he's going to lose control of rebounds or someone's going to tip one by him. It's been a long time since I've seen Andy Moog make the first move.
Well, Andy's been struggling. There's no doubt about that. They've called in Ron Lowe to try and help him out. His one-loss record's not bad, 4-3-1, but his average is way up there. You're a little worried about Andy's play.
Well, so far tonight, he's made that first save, and the Edmonton defense, particularly Muni, I begin to wonder, why is he on the team? Why has he put other players off the defense? Why is he forced Smith to go up in the wing? When you watch him play, he is some good, folks, behind that blue line.
Edmonton trying to clear. They do. Notice Gretzky on the bench. He looked a bit hurt going off that time, and Peter Miller, the athletic therapist for Edmonton, had a good look at him and a chat with him. We'll watch Gretzky, see if he gets back soon. He's got the only goal so far, 1-0. Krushelnyski lost a chance to move it in. Oilers dump it in anyway. Butcher goes back for Vancouver. Butcher starting out off the boards with it down the ice. Goes through the crease, and Moog had to play it, so no icing. Vogelin took his time. Fans oohing and awing as the puck rolled right in front of the goal crease again. Near center, play a little scrappy. Krushelnyski bumped off the puck lightly. Then Krushelnyski was flattened at center ice. Butcher hit him after he played the puck in. Moog stepping out of the net again. 1-0 Edmonton. Scored by Gretzky at 1:37. Now, Krushelnyski coming in. Hits the line, gets set, hangs on to it. Allowed to come right into the slot area. Dropped it out near the line. They set it up in front, but the Canucks are all there to pick it off and clear it out. Peterson's rink-wide pass didn't work. Is knocked into the Edmonton zone, and the Canucks want to make changes. Pass to McTavish. He got away from a check. Richter picks it up in front of his own net. Lost it again. Here's his shot by Napier that misses. Comes back to the corner along the boards. Napier couldn't knock it down. Lowe did. He was hit immediately by Sutter, and the Canucks just have to shoot it out and down the ice. This could be icing. Goes all the way. Icing will be called against Vancouver. Live on CBC, Hockey Night in Canada. A 19-year-old playing his first NHL game in the nets tonight for Vancouver. He's allowed one goal. Gretzky scored it. But he showed a lot of spunk by leaving the net with Gretzky on a break, didn't he, John?
He sure did. He's played very aggressively. He had a great year in 84 and 85 for Medicine Hat. Was the first All-Star in the WHL. Was the second-round pick, as you mentioned, Bob. Had a troublesome year last year as the other goaltender there had a great year.
That's Bartel trying to clear it out. Nearly set up for break, and Tandy is a sharp shooter. He could get away, but he was covered in time. Kevin Lowe, the defenseman, was there. Sutter played it in across the line. Offside is waved off. Referee has his hand up, and there's a penalty coming up against Edmonton again. A cross-checking call against the Oilers.
McTavish takes a cross-checking penalty at 7:03. A pile up along the boards. Sundstrom comes in. McTavish just gives him a little shot. I don't know whether I would have called that one. More of a lacrosse check than anything else. But he goes off for cross-checking. Canucks have another power play chance.
Litzker set it up first. Vancouver on this power play. Barry Peterson passed it back to the line. It came back in front of the net, but here's Gretzky again. Coming out, he appears to be okay. He did skate off, favoring his right foot. But as you see, he's back on there again. And the penalty killing role. He has scored the only goal of the game back at 1:37. And they're now nearing the 8-minute mark of the first period. So Vancouver on this power play with a chance to tie it up. Curry missed a chance to keep it in. In on the right side, it's fed right in front, and here's Hope standing up. Another shot from a difficult angle. Skriko got a little too close, really. And he went up high and missed the net on the short side. Vancouver on a power play. Again, Peterson back of the net to Smeal. Smeal centered it, and Coffey was there. Smeal caught him. Knocked the puck loose. It's back to the line. Over on the far side, Coffey again. Just flipped it by the point man to center ice. 50 seconds left. And the Edmonton penalty. Curry was flat. Here's a shot right on. As Skriko went in there. Could have taken another step, I believe, Howie, before letting that one go, but he took the shot from a fair distance.
They've been going in lately, Bob, no matter where that youngster shoots them from.
Look at Gretzky put on the show again. Hanging on to it back there when he saw the forechecker out front. That got the crowd going a bit. Sandy comes to the corner. Got it back to the line. No shot yet on this setup. Sundstrom played it to the side. Sundstrom back to the line. Lance to him again. Stepping in a bit. Lance the shot. Tipped right to Andy Mulligan. Look at here. That was a pretty good save with a glove hand. That was deflected in front of the net by Sutter.
Andy Mulligan, the right place at the right time, and in that instance there, John, he wasn't on his way down. He was coming out, had the catching glove low to the ice, and good thing he did, because that shot was on its way in and he picked it up.
He shows good reflexes here. You could see him react with that left hand. Good positioning, as you said, Howie. He's out on top of the circle, square to the play, and he's able to get that rebound.
Well, you're looking at Glenn Sather, folks, and I just think he's the ideal coach for this club. He has just unlimited skill and finesse, and he's very, very patient with it, and he wants them to play entertaining hockey. And I'll tell you something. You get Gretzky going, Messier going, Curry skating, and Anderson shake, rattling, and rolling. Oh, they're the greatest entertainers in the game today, and they'll give you your money's worth. End of the first period, most games.
They still have too much, yes, the Edmonton Oilers. When they get going, right on Howie, they can explode at any second. People have been a little critical of Coffey, and I asked Sather before the game tonight, what about Coffey? Tell you in a sec what he said. Here's Kushilniski dropping it back. One too many passes, I guess. It goes down the ice. What's the matter with Coffey? He said nothing. I asked Coffey this morning how he was playing. He said, don't ask me, ask the coach. So I did. So, Paul, nothing is wrong with your play. He plays like this every year, Sather says. He'll catch fire and get him in bunches. Peterson flipped it in for Vancouver. A shot by Skriko is wide and grabbed by Moog. And the goaltender just hangs on to it. Face-off coming up in the Edmonton zone. Along with John Garrett, Howie Meeker, Dave Hodge, and Don Cherry. Along with us at the Northlands Coliseum in Edmonton. Gretzky has the only goal so far. 1:37, first period. We're nearing the halfway mark now. 9 seconds will be there. And back to the net. Lowe takes it. On the boards to McClellan. Teased. Pass to the left side. It's chopped in and offside at the Edmonton line. Edmonton and Winnipeg. Howie tied for first in the Smythe division and fourth overall behind Philadelphia, Montreal, and Pittsburgh. You think it's all starting to even up around the league?
Oh, I would think so. they're a heck of a lot better. And when you're like the Edmonton Oilers, and for 4 or 5 years in a row you draft number 21, other people are going to catch up a little bit. But I would think the Oilers, John, would have to put a little more oomph into this game, do a little more checking, and up the speed just a little bit. They're giving the Vancouver Canucks a pretty good chance to get back into it.
They sure are, Howie, and right now the Canucks are out shooting the Oilers 8-1. Although they've had 2 power plays, I think the Oilers, as you say, haven't shown much intensity.
In again for Peterson. Peterson once again knocked into the corner, and the Oilers are back covering, and Gretzky starts away. A pass through the center, hit Anderson. He couldn't go in. He was covered by Doug Lister. Off the boards. Moog will take care of it. 9.5 minutes left in the first period. Low, a long pass. He tried to hit Gretzky near center with that pass about a foot off the ice. Gretzky failed to knock it down. Vancouver losing to the Rangers last night, 8-5. They were ahead by 4 goals at one point. Disappointing night for the Vancouver Canucks. They're trailing here 1-0. Gretzky in there again. To Low. He's trying to give it to Gretzky again. Here's Gretzky. Gretzky once more. Centered it. Anderson fell. And the Canucks get it up to center ice. Sundstrom brings it in, drops it back. Tandy's shot away wide. Not much on it either. Anderson tried to put it out to Gretzky. It went behind him. Back in for Vancouver. Petit flipped the high one in. Coming in after it, the Vancouver Canucks. Sundstrom got in front of the net, but Tandy couldn't get it out to him. Gretzky again cruising near center. There's Gretzky's pass. That's not down. Gretzky tying up his men. He's going to get a penalty. Gretzky miscued on the pass and nearly allowed a breakaway. He had nothing else to do, and he gets called for holding.
Wayne Gretzky gets a holding penalty at 11:40. Rich Sutter is skating in the opposite direction. Gretzky's standing still. He has to hold on to Sutter's stick to keep him from breaking in. The Oilers made another bad change. They made 2 or 3 bad changes there, Howie, in a row.
They're going to get caught one of these times, but the Canucks can take advantage of it. Look out.
Another power play now. That shot from the blue line was a bit wide as Tambellini out there as the extra man on this power play let it go. Back on this side, Lister gets set, ripped the shot off the skate, and again misses the Edmonton net. Lister comes in from the line, set it up in front. Tambellini on the far side. He is covered. It's off a stick and back out to center ice. Lister from center, launched against Curry. Now he's got some speed, and the shot. And Gamble again had to be very alert to stop the speedy Curry with Gretzky in the box, nearly a shorthanded goal. Only the 3rd minor penalty of the season here in his 22nd game for Wayne Gretzky.
You're looking at Yeri Curry, and he's got himself 11 goals so far this year, and I'm not so sure that he's the Yeri Curry that everyone knows during the regular season. He hasn't really been playing well on that Gretzky line, and I've seen him play 2 or 3 times this year. He lacks the spark, he lacks the jump. He seems to lack some of the enthusiasm that he previously held for the game.
Well, I think so, but now they've got him playing with Mark Messier in an attempt to get him to skate. To keep up with Mark Messier, you better skate.
Messier can fly, and he's there on this faceoff now against Barry Peterson. Canucks with 1 minute and 15 seconds left on the power play. They'd love to tie it here. Curry trying to break it up, but couldn't. Lance dumped it in for the Canucks. Peterson grabbed it, back of the net. Peterson again. The tee back of the blue line, but Peterson goes to the corner with the puck. Now it comes back to the point, then to the other side. More extra pass. The fans thought maybe offside should have been called. It was waved off, though. Curry stealing a few seconds in behind Moog. Picked the opening cleverly and rolled it all the way down the ice. 40 seconds left. And 99 penalty. Oilers in again. Curry set up in front of the net. Kept in by Craig Muni. Now the Canucks with 30 seconds left on this power play. They'll have to hurry. A bad pass to the right wing, and Lowe easily fires it down to the goaltender again. And young Troy Gamble covers. 18 seconds left in the Edmonton penalty. Gretzky is in the box. He scored at 1:37. 1-0. Canucks are in. set up across in front of the net by Lowry. And again, Lowry had a chance there. Didn't get in time. Lowry again. Another pass. Oh, that's as close as they'll come without scoring. Moe pressed it. Canucks are still after the puck. Once again in front of Lowry, and he fanned on it. Napier to Gretzky. Gretzky finds a hole. What else is new? Napier fanned on it. Gretzky set him up again. Try it one more time. He falls in front of the net. Penalty coming as Gamble grabs the puck. Hockey Night in Canada returns in a moment.
The hooking penalty on Mark Napier. Mark Napier had 2 or 3 great chances on this shift. He's finally trying to set up Craig McTavish, and he gets hooked down by Sandlak. Before that, he had a chance set up by Gretzky. He waited and waited and waited, and finally the Canucks were able to tip it away from him.
Now then, it'll be a power play for the Oilers, and they'll go back to start it as Vogt pokes it out for Coffey. Gretzky circles to the right. Coffey comes to the left. Taken in the center. Rink wide to Gretzky off his skate and in. Lister back there with Gretzky. Oilers can't keep it in. It goes down the ice. Smith is back. Steve Smith will be playing up front tonight. He hasn't been used up to this point. Dumped in now again by the Oilers. Smith is up there wearing number 5 on the power play, and he has the puck. Set it up. The drive, a wicked shot from that side by Gretzky. Smith, the shot, misses. Coffey will keep it in. Got it too high, though, and it went over the glass in the crowd.
Oh, they heard Dave Hodge tell hockey fans coast to Canada at the opening of the show that the fellow you're looking at there has 497 goals. He scored 1 first shift tonight. That's 498. He's going for 500, particularly when he shot from that very, very bad angle.
That's true, Howie. The puck was rolling a little bit, too, and he teed it up. Normally, you'd see him knock it down, wait, draw a man to him, and throw it across. As you say, he's going for the 500.
He had a great chance for 499 when he went around Gamble, with Gamble coming out of the net about 40 feet. He had him played well, but then hit the side of the net as he tried to stuff it in. The empty goal. Still 1-0. Oilers. 4:55 left in the period. And a minute left on this power play. Smith will come in along the boards. Gretzky back to the net. Comes out front beautifully to Anderson. And he did not control it. Canucks shoot it down the ice. That was Litz repairing it. Coffey to Gretzky. That pass, a blind pass. Gretzky had been lined up, but he couldn't play the puck anyway. Now then, let's see Coffey skate to center. To Gretzky. Gretzky getting set. Take the shot. Knocked down. Gretzky had a chance to shoot it there and did not. Now he shoots it. That blocked in front of the net and cleared down the ice.
That shot by Messier hit Rick Lance. He had Troy Gamble way out of position at the empty net and hit the Canuck defenseman in the back.
Gretzky in again. Soft pass ahead. Trying to make a setup again to Hunter. Didn't work. Power play continues. Lance tipped it out to center, and now the penalized player is back on. 1-0 Edmonton. Gretzky in there again. Steps toward the net. Hurry! Stopped by Gamble. A good save. And here's the break to center. Coming in, Striko. And that's stopped by Andy Moe. A save at either end. 10 seconds apart. And great action. Live on CBC. Hockey Night in Canada. 3 minutes and 33 seconds remaining in the period. It's still 1-0. The shots 13-4 for Vancouver. The young Gamble, believe it or not, has made 2 or 3 pretty good saves. Even though they've only had 4 shots, that last one was a dandy.
That's right. He's got a great right leg. 2 or 3 times he had an opportunity to move that leg in advance of the shot, but he's hung tight and made good stops.
Lowry is 22, trying to dig it off the boards, but Muni is draped all over him, and they'll do it all over again to the right of Andy Moe. Few words, coming to nothing. There's Muni, a guy who's got a pretty good chance to make it here in Edmonton, and he is playing well.
He's so good behind the blue line, Bob. He plays within his means. He never panics. He gets rid of the puck early and doesn't go to the attack. And playing with Kevin Lowe certainly helps him. Just watch him. He's just playing back there like a proven veteran.
Edmonton taking over with 3:20 left in the period and starting up again. McTavish on the fly, grabbing the pass and skating in. McTavish gets set, rubbed it back to Lowe, dumped it in front. Deflection right there. The goaltender was out a little bit, and McSorley had a chance, but did not control it. That's Cox going in. Cox for Vancouver. Flipped a high pass by Kulak. In back of the goal, Moog stepping out. Rather coolly cleared it away, but not across the line. McClellan will circle the net again.
Every time I've looked up tonight, John Garrett brought Lowe's on the attack. He's the fellow that usually stays at home. He's been over the goal line with the puck and looking for passes 3 or 4 times.
There's a penalty coming up. Edmonton in for the extra man, and you talk about a glove save. That was by Gamble because he was moving out and had to shoot the hand out in a hurry.
The key is when he's moving out there, gentlemen, he stayed in his feet, wasn't on the way down, so he was able to make that save. I like the kid.
Rich Sutter takes a penalty after the pass. This Kevin McClellan line creates things, and you can see Sutter give him a pretty good hook there. And McClellan acted a little bit, but he definitely was hooked, and Sutter's off for hooking.
A bit of a dive.
17:27, the time of the penalty, giving you 2:33 left of the period. Edmonton leading 1-0. The goal by Gretzky as you look at Gamble going to work again with that left hand. The goal came at 1:37. 498 in the career of Wayne Gretzky. Messier after the puck in the corner. It comes back near the line. Gretzky couldn't reach for it. When he did, he just rolled at the center ice. Moog now. Back of the net. Fooled Brent Peterson as he made it look as if he was going one way. Oilers can't get organized now, and Coffey tried to pass to Anderson. That's not a good pass. Went down the ice behind Anderson, and the Oilers are called for icing.
The fella has to be saying to his guys, come on, fellas, let's get going here. Play with a little more intensity, or the first thing you know, we're going to be in trouble. But with all the aces in the hole he has, particularly Mark Messier on the ice, the way he's been skating and handling the puck and making plays, they're liable to bust out any minute.
Good thing about Mark Messier, besides having all the skills that he does have, the finesse, he has that mean streak, Howie. We've seen it before. There's very rarely do you get that combination of skill and that meanness that Messier has.
Well, it's something that I think will carry you further towards the Stanley Cup than any other asset you might have. He's big and he's strong. He has good skills, but that meanness and his unpredictability when he's going to use it. That's the key. You never know.
Dave Hodge is watching the game from the Forum. Detroit is in there tonight. That'll be our Hockey Night in Canada update game. Nothing to report yet in the way of scoring. Here, it's only 1-0. The Oilers now have the man advantage, and the Canucks doing a pretty good job hanging on to the puck and clearing it. That gets the penalty down to 1 minute remaining, and Coffey with a bit of room on a change by the Canucks. Coffey glides through center, but made that extra move, and Anderson went across the line offside.
This fella you're looking at here, this is Anderson. He's been scoring goals again, but I just don't think he's had the consistency that he's had over the years. But I'd like to go back and talk about Coffey a little bit. When he just winds up, he can skate with that. There he is right there. You watch him. When he picks up that puck and gets 2 little strides in his own end, by the time he hits the red line at center ice, he's going 30% faster than anybody else. He stops skating there and beats guys on the blue line, turns them inside out every time. Great, great skater.
Beautiful skater. Paul Coffey, number 7. Messier can turn it on too, let me tell you. Messier is in there, shakes off a check. Messier looks around, but not in time. Chandy was there to shove it down the ice again. 35 seconds left in the Vancouver penalty. 1-0 Oilers. Gretzky trying to make it 2. In with Krushelnyski. Gretzky went after it. So did Krushelnyski. But it's taken by Brent Peterson of Vancouver. Into the final minute of the period. Peterson twisting and turning. nearly set up Curry on a break, and he was going with Gretzky at the move near center. Coffey again with some room. Coffey pulls away. Coffey going in. Coffey to the corner, tries to drag it from behind and misses it. 30 seconds left in the period. Sutter is on the ice again. The penalty over. There's Sutter whipping it out across the line to Strico. Strico coming in. Strico dropped it back. Got in front and couldn't make contact on the return pass from Sutter. 99 in there. Gretzky with Curry. Gretzky spun around. 10 seconds left in the period. And Moog makes the final stop, I believe, of the period. 4 seconds left. It rolls down the other way, and that's it. Period number 1, with Gretzky getting the only goal. And the score at the end of the first period, Edmonton 1 and Vancouver 0. Cast booth at the Northlands Coliseum, and the two teams are ready to go again. This time for period 2. The only stat you like to talk about, really, the goals. Only one of them in the period. Gretzky, number 498 in his career, that came at 137 for 99. Tikkanen and Anderson assisted on that goal. He had 2 or 3 other pretty good chances, too, in the first period. 13-5 were the shots. Vancouver out shooting the Oilers, and the Canucks still having a tough time finishing off in front of the net.
That's true, Bob. They had some chances. Jim Sandlack and Dave Lowry on one shift had a couple of great chances, and they just couldn't finish off. Andy Moog played well, but it's a combination of both those things, the Canucks' inability to score and Moog playing well.
Well, the Canucks are basically in trouble because when they're playing 5 against 5, which you do for almost 2/3 of each hockey game, they've scored less than 2 goals a game. They're in trouble.
Here's Curry going in with Krushelnyski breaking for the net. Backhand shot was high as Messier tried to beat Gamble on the far side. Canucks shoot it out. Muni played it back up to the Vancouver blue line, and again Muni intercepts the pass. This time it's off the leg. But the Canucks, Smeal is inside the line, trying to hustle out, but couldn't make it, and offside.
Well, I think the danger of being on a team with number 99, Coffey, Anderson, and Curry, is that you live with them and soon you think you're one of them. This guy here does that. He is big, he is strong, and when he makes use of the talent that he has, is good hustle, works hard, checks hard, he's very productive. But when he tries to get by on skill, he's in trouble.
That's Barry Peterson, number 7, with a puck on the faceoff. Sandlack out there with him along with Strico, and the Oilers in again. And along the board, Krushelnyski tried to set it up and got to the line. Muni passed it into Curry. He beat the goaltender, but then missed the net. He got Gamble to commit himself. Here's a drive by Messier. Not much of a drive. He nearly missed it altogether. Messier again. Krushelnyski, a low shot. Oilers come out hammering here in the second period. Butcher is there trying to clear it away up along the boards. And he's getting a hand now from Peterson, and it goes right to Andy Moog. Turning with it is Muni. Played to center ice. Canucks changing again as the play continues. Tikkanen to Lowe in the center ice area. Tandy. He didn't get very far. He was checked by Tikkanen. Canucks shoot it in. Coming in after it is Rich Sutter. On the corner, though, is Lowe. And the Oilers just knock it out to center ice again. Back in for Vancouver. Near the line. Muni tapped it ahead. Gretzky is moving in there again. Gretzky drives it. Score! Gretzky had the goaltender move. He saw move. So that's 499 in his right career for Wayne Gretzky. 2-0.
I told you, gentlemen, the end of the first period. He'll be looking for number 500 before the period's over. Watch what he does here. He just takes the defense right with him, gets them backing up, and then as he goes to his right, the goaltender goes to his right, and it opens up the far side. He slid it along the ice. Nobody stops that shot, John.
That's a great shot. He's done it to every other goalie in the league. Why not break in Troy Gamble?
No question, a dandy shot. He saw the goaltender move, too. And then the low shot. 2-0 Edmonton. 2-0 Gretzky. Tikkanen knocked it in behind the net. That's Greg moving after it. Up along the boards is Anderson. Greg comes in to help, and they force a stoppage in the Edmonton zone. From the Northlands Coliseum in Edmonton, this is Hockey Night in Canada on CBC. Don Cherry, of course, along with us on Hockey Night in Canada from Edmonton. Coast to coast telecast with the Canucks and the Oilers, and it's 2-0 Gretzky. 498, 499, and looking for 500. Pretty kind of exciting. Right now, the Canucks trying to get back into the hockey game, but again, no finish in front of Andy Moog. Gamble steps behind the net. Troy Gamble, 19 years old, playing in his first NHL game tonight. He was back up a couple of weeks ago in Calgary, but he's in the pipes tonight. Peterson's shot is wide. In behind the net, Sandlack trying to kick it loose. Here's Peterson stealing it. Set it up in front. Everybody was covered, though. Lindster at the blue line kept it in. Strico back to the net. He is stopped by Coffey, who was all over it. Tikkanen, a stop pass ahead. Gretzky on there again with Anderson. Anderson turning near the line. Look at that play. And Tikkanen couldn't hang on to it, but he was set up perfectly. Sundstrom brings it in for Vancouver. His pass along in front, intended for Sutter. Didn't get to him. The Oilers back for it. Anderson, a long pass to Gretzky, off his stick. Smith couldn't pick it up. Back in for Tandy. Tandy shoots one. Both stopped it. Tandy on the rebound. Into the corner on this side. Left it there. Canucks. Sutter. Here's the drive, and that one off his stick. The Oilers are going to tear it out. Gretzky comes down the right side. Gretzky waits for help. Does he need it? Oh! Gamble just got a piece of it. Gretzky nearly had his hat trick right there. And it's 500. It's 2-0 Edmonton. Jumped into the zone again by Sutter. Canucks make changes. And they come back. Icing is waved off. Lindster has to hurry now because McTavish is chasing him. And the hurry is past. There's McTavish. All over the ice on the chip. McTavish looking pretty hot going in. On with the break. Set it up. Big gear was knocked off the puck. At the side of the net nearly jammed it in. Vogel into McTavish. He just touched it as it rolled behind the net. Big gear couldn't stop it. And a pass out to Lowry. Gets the Canucks in there for a shot at it. Right in front it goes to Tambellini, and he is covered in time. In on the play is Schmiel. Held along the boards. McTavish couldn't stop Tambellini. His shot is stopped by Mogo. 2-0 Edmonton. Nearing the 5-minute mark of period 2. Canucks looking for a goal here. Right in front of the net. Peterson. He scores! Lowry just turned around and flipped it over in front. And they're on the board. Over the bouncing puck.
That's it. The Edmonton Oilers a little sloppy getting it out of their own end, and it ends up in their net. You can see they have control. Fire it through the middle. That diagonal pass. Lowry makes a good play to Barry Peterson. He spins around and hits Charlie Huddy's stick. I think that confused Andy Moog.
Well, Andy Moog does make a play on it with his right leg here, but he kicked just a little too fast. I think he was expecting maybe a faster shot than that. Decided to pat it in. I think the Vancouver Canucks are full value for the 1 goal.
They have had lots of chances, and they finally get one, and a funny one.
One thing about this Edmonton Oilers club, they'll give the opposition all kinds of chances to score a goal for them to get back into it.
Oilers in again right from the face-off. McClellan goes to the side of the net. Swings out front. Leaves it for Muni. He can shoot it. There's his shot. That's stopped in front of the goal by Rick Lance. 4:53 was the time of that Vancouver goal. Peterson from Lowry. Barry Peterson. So it's 2-1 Edmonton, and the Canucks are back in it. Muni's shot picked up by Mold. Crowd of players in front of him. Gamble like that, picking it out. Now he watches this pass go by in front of him. McClellan went after it. The center is though, the end goaltender kicking out that right leg on that last save. Troy Gamble. Coming up the 6-minute mark of the second period. Stolen by Cox. He falls as he shoots it in behind the Edmonton net. Where you see Andy Mold. Into the corner, McSorley comes back. Fired one to the line, and he got it out. Litzner waits there to move it away from Messier and shoots it in. Mold steps behind the goal. Kevin Lowe's pass. Hit Curry. Messier in with him. Curry tipped it back to him, but he was tied up. And the Canucks are going to clear it out. To the line is Strico. Pass to Peterson. Back to the line again. Peterson is covered. And the Oilers dump it out to center ice. Curry shot. That's deflected by Litzner. Peterson got back to break up that rush. Kushelniski on an angle. Got it back. At the line, Greg's shot, a weak one. Kushelniski on the rebound to Curry. Curry dumped it out front to Messier. Curry again hit the side of the net, and Gamble this time grabs it. Live on CBC, Hockey Night in Canada.
Should you chase the man behind the net or not? Harold Sneps does, but Mike O'Connell doesn't have Sergio Momesso covered in front. The Canadians have opened the scoring against Detroit.
Gretzky with 2 goals, one here in the second period. And Peterson scoring for Vancouver, Barry Peterson. Gretzky's second goal of the night at 1:40 of the second period. Peterson's goal at 4:53. And the Canucks back in the hockey game. That was Sutter rolling it inside the Edmonton line. Messier comes back in again with Kushelniski and Curry. He goes back there. He falls. It's centered. Run off Sutter then and down the ice. Now Greg has to hustle because Sutter is coming in, chasing the big defenseman, and he'll hit him, as he did. Oilers get it out to center, though. Sundstrom flipped it back over the line, and there's Greg again, hammering it off the boards down the ice. Icing has been waved off. Nearing the 8-minute mark of period number 2. Edmonton leading 2-1. Lowry trying to give chase. Wasn't there quickly enough, though, and icing is called against the Vancouver Canucks. So, they'll bring it back. Again, and he has 2 goals tonight, giving him 499 in his career. And as Howie mentioned earlier, he'll be shooting for 500 tonight, and just like that, here in the second period, he got 499. So he's in business. Edmonton leading 2-1. Tikkanen starts out. Takes a bump on the boards from Smeel. Smeel trying to dig the puck out. Now he moved out of the crowd. Brent Peterson fell to the ice, and Smeel takes it. Shoots it in. Mold will cover on that one easily. Leaves it for the defenseman Fogelin. Out to the line, and now Gretzky to center. Gretzky coming in with Anderson. Gretzky with a move. Oh, he over to Anderson. And he moved around Richter. Oh, he's going to do it again. He's got the fans buzzing here. Look at that pass. And this guy is playing hockey or what? Gretzky again. Has he got the puck? Yes, but this time it's intercepted in front of the net. Lance dumped it out. Canucks shoot it in. 2-1 is the score. Gretzky putting on a show on that turn. In front of the net. The pass just off Sandland's stick. Here's the shot. Oh, it's out. Anderson turning. Gretzky waited, didn't get the pass. Long drive by Sandland was blocked. Again, a hot shot missed him. And it comes all the way back to Butcher. Gretzky in for checking. Laid it up on the board. Once again, Butcher gets rid of it into the center ice area. And Sundstrom played it ahead. Long shot by Stanlak missing. They near the halfway mark. The Canucks had 2 or 3 fairly good chances there on that last chip. But now McTavish gets it across the line, rather unmolested. Now he's given a light bump by Sundstrom. Nothing to talk about.
Bob, if Stanlak and Lowry can put the fucking ocean off the wharf, or the Vancouver Canucks would be leading by 3. They've had 10 chances to do every.
Coffey drives one at the young goaltender Gamble. And he's out to cut the angle that time to make the save, and he holds it. John Garrett and Howie Meeker in the booth at the Northlands Coliseum. On a coast-to-coast telecast, Dave Hodge and Don Cherry along with us, and Dave is watching the game out of the Forum in Montreal. The Canadians leading Detroit 1-0. That's our Hockey Night in Canada updating. We'll keep you informed. Here it's 2-1. Edmonton. Gretzky has both goals. If you've joined us late and you're not up on the stats, that's .499 in his career. McTavish in there. Tried to get away from a check. Was hit anyway by Bartel, and the play had to whistle onside. Very little of this stuff tonight. Only 5 penalties called in the first period. All minors, 3 against Edmonton.
Well, I've been watching the penalties in the newspapers of every game, and they've been averaging at least 12 per game, except when the Edmonton Oilers play 90% of the clubs, there's maybe 3-2 or 4-6 or something like that. Minimum amount of penalties, and they get less chances on the power play than anybody else in the league because they don't really play it violent. They're not that aggressive a hockey club, except with the things that they have best, that's talent.
Was telling me earlier today, Howie, that the Canucks really have been playing well enough to win more games than they have won. And I think I can see why now. They're a little short on sharpness around the net. They have been getting chances. They're not capitalizing. As they say, to use that well-worn cliche, like McTavish is trying to now. Tried to step by Steele and couldn't, and that puck will go into the crowd.
Oh, Bob, their big problem is Barry Peterson. He's just got 5, and he's supposed to have all kinds of them. There's a guy there who plays extremely well in defense behind the blue line. He's big and he's tough, and he finishes the check and moves the puck exceptionally well. But they've got him up on the wing. But let's go back to Dave Lowry just has 2 goals. Brent Peterson has 1. Stan Spiel just 4. Stu Kulak 1. And Steve Tambellini just 2. When you can't score goals playing 5 against 5, you're in trouble.
You mentioned Smith there, Howie. Well, he played up front when he started off with London in junior hockey. And the reason, he told me tonight before the game, the reason he was moved up front, being a defenseman, was because when he came to camp, junior camp, there were 9 defensemen already there. He'll do it every time. So he's up there again for a short time. He's a big guy. Canucks trailing by a goal. 9 minutes left in period number 2. Litzker played it in. Messier brings it back. Set it up to the left side. Gets in front and just misses. Vogel into the other side. A long shot got by Gamble, and he dives out to smother it. Litzker giving him some production. Tonight's game is coming to you from Edmonton. And here's the spot from where we watch the hockey game. Way above the ice surface here at the Northlands Coliseum. Howie, John, and yours truly. And we're watching the Oilers leading the Canucks 2-1 tonight.
Brent Peterson out there taking the draw. Howie's got cracked ribs and he's wearing a flak jacket, but he's another guy that you were mentioning. He gets lots of ice time, but he's never been a scorer and doesn't expect to be one.
Well, he can't be your 3rd line center to boot. 4th line, yes, but he gets too much play, I would think, for offensive.
Huddy testing the young goalie. Gamble, who made a nice save. Krushelnyski to Huddy again. Chopping it in on the boards in the corner, and here's Vogelin. Vogelin rolled it in front, and he kicked it away that time. Gamble did. And the Canucks shoot it down the ice.
Kind of like that kid goal. It was a weak shot and everything else, but he did the right thing with it. He's directed in the corner.
by this time, maybe he should be over any nervousness he had at the start of the game, eh, John?
Oh, I'm sure he is. First couple of saves, the first shot went in. After that, he played very well. He played very aggressively, and I'm sure he's over the jitters.
I know he had to say, what is this? First shot came his way. He heard it hit the post. And then Gretzky, of course, around the net. You don't know what to do, even if you have all kinds of experience when Gretzky is fooling around with it, coming in front.
Well, it bounced in off Rick Lance's foot, too, and it's one of those things, as a goalie, you feel, oh, my goodness, what's going to happen to me tonight? Everything they shoot's going to go in, but he settled down, and he looked very poised anyway.
Tom Watt told me today that he was going to start young Gamble, but he didn't want me or anybody else to say a word about it because he didn't want Gamble to find out until he handed him the puck before the game. A veteran, of course, would like to know if he were playing. Gamble didn't know till he got to the rink. And they went out for the warm-up, and he said, here you go, young fella. You're facing the Edmonton Oilers tonight, and this man, Wayne Gretzky, who sets it up now for the Oilers, coming in, Anderson. The backhander scooped up by Gamble. He held on to it, but Messier was there, so that's okay.
Well, the two of them combined, that fellow you're looking at there is probably as good a skater as there is in the National Hockey League, and just tremendous balance in front of the net. And he complements anybody he plays with, whether it be Messier and Gretzky, by great anticipation. You just had to see them come out of their own end. They just know where each other is. They complete the pass. They can receive a pass and give them half a chance to put it in the net. I've seen him do some things in front of the net you just wouldn't believe.
Well, I know as a goaltender, you think you have him, but he does everything so quickly and so strong, as you say, in front of the net. He can kick your stick out of the way and then put it in when you think you've got the poke check on him.
Gretzky with 2 goals tonight, number 499. On here again. And there's Gretzky. Won the draw, tried to slip around Frank Peterson, but he couldn't pick up the puck. Out for Butcher, who shoots it in for Vancouver. Oilers back, Anderson leading the way. Anderson is tied up, however. Muni comes over to help him. That allows Lowe to move it out. Gretzky saw a check coming, so gave it to Lowe again. He couldn't hit Tikkanen with the high pass. Lidster played it ahead. Gretzky stole it, nearly went in. Puck was a little out of reach, though. Now it's Anderson stepping in. Tikkanen didn't see it. It hit Sutter and rolled his way, but he was going away from it and didn't see the puck. Canucks changing all around. Gretzky circles at center. Picking a hole if he can find one. If he can't, he'll make one. He got in there and dropped it back, but it deflected off Lowry.
Jiminy Cricket. You see him make that move in front of the defenseman? He's so quick with those hands. Pocket things. Quick moves. Braces everybody, doesn't he?
Sure does. He seems to have that sense. He knows exactly how far the defenseman can reach, and he uses that.
Here's Tikkanen, tried to hit Gretzky, nowhere near him with a pass. And back in for Peterson. Peterson dancing away from Coffey. One hand it out front. Comes all the way off the boards to the line. And the Oilers are going to clear it. Coffey tried to hit Gretzky, and Gretzky looks to the bench, but he stays on. Long skip for Gretzky. The pass comes to the line. Kept in by Striko. Striko got a weak shot in toward the net and missed it. Petit centered it. Back to the line and out. But holding it back out was Sandlak, preventing an offside call. Shot in by Peterson again. Great back against Striko. Striko stole it. Tried to send it back to the line, and it goes the length of the ice.
You mentioned Gretzky out there for a long shift. He played with 3 different sets of wingers.
That's something he's just gone off now. And he takes his spot on the Edmonton bench. 5.5 minutes left in the second period. McClellan trying to go in. McClellan's shot, not much out. Stopped though by Campbell as he made the stick save. Hunter got back in time to stop a pass from Sundstrom that nearly set up a clear break. But Sorley played it to the wing. Long shot by Hunter, and that's stopped by Campbell. And the youngster hangs on to that hard drive.
Pushing and shoving after the whistle. Troy Gamble had that one rattle off both his legs. It almost went through.
Live on CBC, Hockey Night in Canada.
Remember Montreal's first goal, the Detroit defenseman going for somebody behind the net, leaving Momesso in front. This isn't it. This is another one. 2-0 Canadians, the same type of goal.
2-1 Oilers here with 5:14 remaining, and Gretzky has both goals for Edmonton. Peterson has scored at 4:53 of this period for Vancouver. Barry Peterson. Oilers come back to organize again. Shorty all the way to his own zone. Offside call at the blue line.
If there's ever going to be any rough stuff in this game, it'll happen now with these guys on the ice. Marty McSorley, noted for his toughness, very effective at doing that. Came over from Pittsburgh, got the chance to play. He got to play with Gretzky for a while, turned into a goal scorer, but he knows why he's there, and he plays that tough role to the hilt.
Hoagland starting the play to McSorley for Edmonton. Pass to the center ice area, and Huddy decides to let her fly from there. Lance around the net for Vancouver. Huddy stopped his tearing pass. Again back to the net is Lance. Goes to the right side, and once more he got it out across the line. Cox fed it over on this side. Long shot, easy save as Petit let it fly from the blue line. McSorley didn't see it. It was a high pass off the boards. Butcher to the right side, and again, play a little scrappy, and nobody connecting now on passes. There's another one picked off near center. Glitzner waited to go offside at the Edmonton blue line.
Greg Cox from Chula Vista, California. His contract was up at the end of last year, and the Canucks were afraid he would sign with LA. They gave him a 2-year contract. Howie, I think they were just afraid he'd sign with LA, and that added toughness. I know he's got a lot of the guys intimidated on his own team and lots of guys on other teams.
I don't think he's a center. Everybody in Vancouver wants to see him succeed. He's a hard worker. He just can't make plays consistently enough. And I think if they put him on the wing, he would be a much bigger help to the club than he is at center.
He can handle the puck, but he just doesn't seem to have enough quickness to get there as a big centerman, not like a Jim Koplinski or somebody like that.
He's another American, though, that started very, very late in life at hockey.
Yes, he did. He ended up playing junior in Belleville, Ontario, fairly unnoticed in junior, came out to the Vancouver camp and won himself a job. As you say, very popular with his teammates and one of the hardest workers on the club.
Gee, what a couple of years in the minors would do for him.
Who would they bring up?
You said that, I didn't.
Canucks trying to get a tie game before this period is over. But look out, the Oilers coming in. Nicker set it up in front. Great save by Gamble on that play. They really made a dandy move by going down. Not always smart to go down, but that time it turned out to be the right move. Barry Peterson dumps one in for Vancouver and goes to the bench on a change.
Well, Ron Lowe found himself home free, and he's been doing that all night long. And I told you earlier, I'm a little bit surprised, but the youngster you're looking at here just came across with the pass, and it was the right spot at the right time. The only chance that Lowe had, I think, was to put it up there. Now, watch the pass right from here, puts Lowe home free. Trailing on the play, the kid come across, guessed a little bit, down a little bit early, but I guess he said, well, thank goodness it's Lowe, and he's not going to get cute and out-finesse me or hang on to it and take a shot. You can't get it high, so he guessed right.
Well, I think Kevin Lowe had a little trouble handling that pass to start with, and Troy saw it, and he's been playing aggressively all night. Came out charging him and made the right play.
Gretzky with both Edmonton goals. Barry Peterson scoring for Vancouver. 3:37 now remaining in the second period. And the Canucks still in there. Out shooting Edmonton 21-14 at this point in the game. Gregg on the boards with it. Krushelnyski was stopped from picking it up, and it goes down the ice. And the Canucks go back. In for checking is Curry. He stole it. Got it back. Krushelnyski was checked right away by Sundstrom and couldn't get a shot on the net. Sundstrom down, deflects one out to Sutter. Sutter going in on Gregg. Sutter driving for the net. Gregg staying with it. He took it in
there's a penalty called on the play. With 3:08 left in the period.
Well, there's the penalized player on that play. Mr. Paul Coffey. A holding call at 16:52, the second period. Great chance now for Vancouver. Power play goal here would be rather nice. Tie game after 2 periods against Edmonton here at the Northlands Coliseum. Had a tough one last night, leading by 4 at one point over the Rangers and losing 8-5. Canucks Lidster on the power play, shoots it up back of the net. Squeako trying to center it. He's bumped lightly, but continues on. Tambellini up the line. Tambellini, no place to go with it. He'll pass it off again to Squeako, or try to. Squeako had to hurry that one, and the Oilers do not get it out on the first shot, nor the second. Smeel, nice play to Lidster. His pass, though, was deflected, still not out. Tambellini again. Lidster up the line, will shoot it, and that's stopped by Moog. In back of the net, Peterson left it there, and he gets it again. Squeako setting it up to him. Tambellini up the line, drives one. Missing it was Smeel. He tried to make contact in front of the net. A 2-on-1, but no longer a 2-on-1 as Messier hooked it away too far. Curry was there with him. The Canucks on a power play. Smeel starts it in with Peterson setting it up. Moog stopped it, but it hit the post on the outside as Squeako tried to beat him on the short side. Less than 2 minutes remaining in the period, and 40 seconds on this Vancouver power play. Squeako's getting chased off the board. Messier covering the man at the point. Again, Squeako went off balance. It's kept inside the line, though. Messier trying to dump it out and cannot do it. Here's the play to Petit. He flipped it ahead to Peterson. Finally, it's out over the line into center ice. 20 seconds left in the power play. The Canucks come in after it. Tandy, always dangerous, gets it back. That play hit Sutter's skate. Curry ahead, tried to hit Gretzky, who was in behind everybody. Here's Tandy coming in. Drops the pad from Moog, had to be sharp, stopping that one. Penalty is over. Curry got it ahead. Coffey speeding in. Ran into the goaltender. Gamble went off balance and stayed on his feet. 55 seconds left in the period, and it opens up a bit now in this last minute. 2-1 Edmonton. Canucks having a chance to tie it with that power play and came up short. Here's Gretzky. Passes to Curry off the boards. Up with Coffey. Curry coming in. He comes to the right side with Fogelin. The 2 defensemen up on the play. Fogelin in back of the net. Bumped by Sundstrom. And it's grabbed by Butcher, and he clears it with 30 seconds left in the period. Vancouver trying desperately now to tie the game before the period is out. Long lead pass, missing Gretzky at center. Gretzky went in after it. Icing is called against Edmonton. And another penalty, I believe, coming. We have a Hockey Night in Canada update. Here's Dave.
Some interesting developments at the Montreal Forum. The Detroit Red Wings have a 3-on-1 break. Gaston Gingras, well, I think it's one back. He just lets Gerard Gallant walk in. He doesn't have to pass it. Gaston Gallant scored, and then John Ogrodnik took a shot. Probably changed direction or dipped out at the blue line right past Patrick Waugh. Suddenly Detroit is even with Montreal.
Gary Curry in the penalty box. Canucks have another power play. The power play hasn't been very effective tonight, Bob. Gary Curry behind the plate, being bothered by Rich Sutter. Retaliated a little bit, takes the penalty. This is another great opportunity for the Canucks, who have played a game where they've been close all night. They've had some power play chances to try and get back in it, and they just haven't been able to capitalize on them.
Coming into the game, they had 18 power play goals and 84 opportunities. For 21.4% efficiency, that has dropped a little bit tonight. They're in the middle of the pack, though, in the 21-team league in the power play. Only 3 seconds left in the period, and this will do it as the puck is up along the boards. And the siren ends period number 2 of the score at the end of the second period. Edmonton 2 and Vancouver
Vancouver 1. Wayne Gretzky is 1 goal away from 500 for his career. The Edmonton Oilers are just 1 goal ahead of the Vancouver Canucks at the end of 2 periods. Barry Peterson scoring for Vancouver. The Canucks in this game, some might say they are dominating it everywhere but on the scoreboard. That, however, is what counts. 2-1 Edmonton over Vancouver. Since we have these 2 esteemed hockey experts with us in Edmonton, we thought we'd put them to the test, and really you do take your life in your hands calling yourself an expert these days, with Toronto leading its division, with Winnipeg tied with Edmonton, Pittsburgh and New Jersey both in the playoffs. Is any of this real, or are bubbles going to burst one by one in the next few weeks?
No, I think it's real, particularly in Toronto. The only contribution, and I've been saying it for years, folks, and I don't know whether the guy beside me is going to agree, that the coach can make to a hockey club is the goals against, to keep the goals out of the net. It's totally his responsibility to keep them down. The fellow in Toronto, both when his team's been penalized, just an amazing 10 the last time I looked, but certainly they're below 60 goals a game, and they're 6 goals on the power play. It's amazing. But what they're doing more than anything else, they've got discipline, they've got system, and they've got hard work behind the blue line. Now, on offense, they're going to get lots of goals. Same in Pittsburgh. You don't like Lemieux. Lemieux is going to get you 100 and something points, but the most impressive thing that's happening in Pittsburgh is the coaches are keeping the goals down, less than 3 a game.
Well, suddenly all these guys can coach? What is this?
Yeah, well, look at Phil. He can be a general manager in a year and a coach in a year. Yeah, he's doing all right so far. You know, the 2 surprises for me, and I just don't understand it, is Minnesota and Chicago. How he went on a real plus in Toronto, and he should have added a little fear there, too. John Brophy got the fear in him. I saw the game in Long Island, and I'll tell you, when they were losing, he was going bananas. So, but the 2 surprises to me in the league are Chicago and Minnesota.
There are some people who would say, and feel free to disagree, as I know you will, that these funny results, if we can call it that, are because some teams just decide to take nights off during the regular season. And not to say that these teams are as good as they think they are, but you're seeing some results that really aren't quite kosher when you analyze the teams, and it won't last.
Well, look at this game tonight. Oh, you got to admit, this is a floating game tonight.
I never noticed.
This game, you're telling me that the Oilers are putting out 100% tonight?
That's what I'm talking
about. And that's
about.
exactly. You could catch anybody off guard. And another thing, too, is everybody realizes, and I'm sorry to say this sitting out here watching it, that everybody realizes the season absolutely means nothing.
Well, for some teams, it means nothing. For a team like Edmonton that will be in the playoffs, for a team like Montreal that will be in the playoffs, but there aren't too many teams that can count on that anymore because these other teams are starting to win so many games.
Well, I think the season has to mean something for Winnipeg. They have to reestablish themselves as a hockey club. Toronto's the same way. St. Louis is the same way, particularly in Detroit. And it's clubs like these that are really having to give out and really having to prove to their fans and to their players that, hey, we got a chance of making the playoffs, and if we make the playoffs, as you saw last year, we can go to the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, but anybody can make the playoffs almost now. Why knock your brains out? Why get a lot of injuries? I mean,
you got to make sure you're one of those anybody.
Most of the guys that are going to be in the playoffs will be in the playoffs. There's very few will be out. And you can see right now that Gretzky is not, he will tonight because he's going for the 500. But you can see that in the last 5 or 6 games, he has not been getting the ice time because Glenn is getting them ready for the playoffs now, if you can believe it.
How about this? Some of these teams that nobody can figure out because of how poorly they're doing are sitting around waiting for their coach to be fired. Every other coach gets fired when the team gets off to a slow start, so we'll wait till ours does. I mean, there may be some truth to that in places like Chicago and Minnesota.
Well, I know when I played, when there was always a chance the coach was going to go, you never knew. You were looking over your shoulder, who's going to be there? Howie, you've been in that many times.
Well, in our days, it was never the coach that got fired. It was us who went down to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, but you never had a 5-year contract for about 3 big ones.
That'd scare Don going down to Pittsburgh.
Geez, I'd love to have gone down to Pittsburgh, places I played. But you're right, the coaches now, I mean, it's you people out there that want to coach, and there's a lot of people out there who'd be great to coach in the National Hockey League. Look how you get treated. I mean, you got to be the lowest person on the totem pole.
I'm not so sure about that. It's a learning process. You have to pay your dues, and I just think it's a tremendous job. Sure, baseball coaches get fired, football coaches get fired, hockey coaches get fired.
There's a big difference. There's a big difference in baseball. They get fired off one team, they're hired the next. And football, too. You get fired, you're hired. Very few guys, and I've said this before, they get fired in the National Hockey League, get hired again.
Ripley's, believe it or not, will have Tom Landry in a prominent position about 20 years from now. I mean, the only coach that is hired the day the team comes into existence, and obviously will never be fired. And if it can work for the Dallas Cowboys, why not for some other teams? And yet, in this sport especially, I really think hockey is getting worse than any other sport.
Well, I just look at Scotty Bowman, and let's face it, Scotty got kind of eased out of there pretty nice, and look at all the Stanley Cups he won. Al Arbor hung around a little too long. He got eased out. Nobody in hockey ever, something always happens to you at the end. There's bad feelings at the end. Nobody goes out smiling.
Is it good for hockey or bad that it's so unpredictable now?
I really don't know. What do you think?
Well, I tell you one thing. When I'm a coach and I hear reading the paper all the time that I'm gone and this guy's come in, how'd you like to be Sater? They had 5 coaches lined up for him to coach before he got fired. I don't think it's good at all. I like the way...
I mean the scores. I mean that New Jersey can beat
I thought you meant the coaches.
Vancouver might be able to beat Edmonton.
Well, New Jersey usually runs with Christmas. They run into a brick wall.
I don't know about that. They've got some tremendous talent, and for a change, they're getting good goaltending.
There are no experts anymore, folks. Our second intermission will continue in just a moment. No, indeed, you never know what the scores will look like these days. The Detroit Red Wings were down 2-0. They rallied with quick goals by Gerard Gallant and John Ogrodnik to tie the Canadians 2-2 after 2 periods. St. Louis had a lead, then the Bruins led. The Blues came back. Now once more the Bruins are in front. Charlie Simmer has a pair for Boston. Hartford leads the Islanders at Long Island 5-3. Quebec over Buffalo. It is now 3-1, we're told, as Anton Stastny has also scored for the Nordiques. Pittsburgh and Washington 4-3 for the Capitals over the Penguins. In Philadelphia, the Flyers lead the Leafs on Peter Zezel's second goal of the night. Philly 3 and Toronto 1. They tied 2-2 earlier in the week at Toronto. The Calgary Flames continue to struggle. The Mike Bullard has scored a goal for the Flames, but the Rangers have 4 and Calgary has 3. And New Jersey leads Minnesota 1-0. Joe Cirella, the goal scorer. Replay is next live on CBC. This is Hockey Night in Canada.
Brought to you by Apple and authorized Apple dealers throughout Canada.
The night didn't start well for rookie Troy Gamble in his first NHL game, but he really couldn't do much about this one. Wayne Gretzky fired the puck off a Vancouver stick, and Gamble could only look and probably didn't see it go over the line. Gretzky, needing 3 for 500, gets his first of the night. Here comes another Wayne Gretzky goal. This more typical of number 99. Rick Lands waits. He can't get at Gretzky. Neither can Petit, and Gamble can't stop the shot. 2-0 Edmonton early in the second period. But the Canucks are in this game because they have worked hard, and they finally got a puck to bounce for them. One bounce to Peterson's glove. Another bounce off the ice. A shot, hit a stick, and find its way through Andy Moog. So it's 2-1, Edmonton going to the third period.
Hockey Night in Canada replay. Brought to you by Apple and authorized Apple dealers throughout Canada.
Out for period number 3. In the second period, Gretzky got his second of the night, and Peterson scored for Vancouver. Barry Peterson, his 6th of the season. Gretzky now has 499 in his career. And if he gets it, whenever, he'll be the player who has scored 500 goals in the fewest games. This is his 575th game. Incidentally, here's Peterson, who has scored the Vancouver goal. Now, 1 minute and 46 seconds left in this penalty, gentlemen, as the Canucks have a shot at tying the game early in this third.
Well, Bob, I think that's a reflection of how the Oilers are playing. Curry took a dumb penalty at the end of the period. They aren't playing with much intensity at all, or not a whole lot of discipline.
That's Lowe going in there. Nobody wants a piece of him. He's in for a shot. It was blocked in time in front of the net. Vancouver nearly giving up a shorthanded goal right here to start the third period. Look out!
this one. Messier took a shot and hit Richter. Messier got it again, centered it. Hunter planned on it. That's 3 chances for a shorthanded goal. We talked about Vancouver having an opportunity to tie the game, but look at here. The Oilers are out here early in the third period looking for that 2-goal lead.
Stan Smil, the heart and soul of the Vancouver Canucks, coming back from major knee surgery last year, missed all of this training camp, Howie, and I think Stan has to play and play well for the Canucks to do well, and it's a big burden on him this year.
Well, he's still the leader of this hockey club, and he used to do it by being very, very physical. Every moment of every shift, all during the hockey game. Now he's acquired considerable smarts. He's tough at the right time. He does the job just as effectively by maybe not hitting as much, not skating as much, but he gives you an honest effort every night and usually is very, very productive.
2-1 Edmonton. Vancouver on a power play, although you'd never know it. Now they're starting down the right side with Sundstrom. And there's Gretzky again, dropping it back into the corner. That pass will come near Gretzky and slide by him down the ice. Hunter goes in, the goaltender gamble out. Gave it to Tandy. Tandy by Gretzky with a pass that Gregg stops. Oilers in complete control here while shorthanded. Gretzky parked near center. Missed that pass. It hit the linesman and the Canucks again. With 30 seconds left on their power play. Lance shoots a high one in. Off the boards to Gregg. Couldn't clear it out. Tandy set it up. Little weak shot by Sundstrom is scooped away by Moog.
Wayne Gretzky going for that number 500 in only 575 games. That is amazing. He can do it all.
How long did it take, or how many games did it take Mike Bossy to do it?
647. He got one tonight.
I have said for years that Bossy is the greatest goal scorer that I've ever seen, and I played against the Rocket Richard.
863 for the Rocket.
Just amazing that Gretzky has done it so quick.
Took Gordy 1,045. Gordie Howe, of course. Hull, Beliveau, Mahovlich, Esposito, Dion, and Perreault are the others. Vancouver's power play. Just not working. And it's over now with Curry on the ice. Pass to Gretzky. Flying to center. Curry on the right. Gretzky in and Curry. Didn't know whether Gretzky was going to pass it or shoot it, and he went offside. From the Northlands Coliseum in Edmonton, this is Hockey Night in Canada on CBC. They played just a minute and 56 seconds of the third period. Oilers still hanging on to a 1-goal lead. Canucks shoot it in. Moog had to be alert. A scramble in front of the net. And the low shot by Smil went off his stick, and a penalty coming up against Vancouver.
Patrick Sundstrom for the Canucks, being bothered by Randy Gregg in front of the net, takes a holding penalty. You can see Patrick Sundstrom skating off there. There was a pileup. The Canucks coming on, trying to get that equalizer. Sundstrom in front of the net, being taken out of the play by Randy Gregg, who was very good at it. Sundstrom held on to his stick. Here's a guy, Howie, that's been a question mark this year and last year for the Vancouver Canucks. They question whether he comes to play every night. You can see here on the replay, Randy Gregg gives him a shove to start, and then Sundstrom's got that one hand wrapped around Gregg's stick right in front of referee Denny Morrell. Sundstrom gets the 2 minutes for holding.
And Gretzky is on the ice again. Tikkanen on the left side, Anderson to the right. Brent Peterson is number 10. Got the draw. The Oilers moved on the puck quickly, though, and Coffey will come back. Coffey circling the net. Rico watching him. He is circling in front of Moog. Gretzky goes to the right side. Smith tipped it ahead. Now it's near center. Gretzky up the line. Couldn't control it. They have to go all the way back. 2-1. Edmonton. Gretzky has both goals. Barry Peterson has scored for Vancouver. Power play Edmonton. Anderson firing one in. Gretzky moving up. Rolled it in front of the net, and the young goaltender Troy Gamble put his mitt on it and held it.
But in the power play, that's not like the Edmonton Oilers to shoot the puck in, but in this instance, Coffey let it go, played it exactly off the boards like a billiard player would, and Gretzky was the first in to get it. He knew where it was going.
Messier is over the board, so he's coming on. Tikkanen is going to lead. No doubt. They'll try to get it to Gretzky. But not necessarily with a one-goal game. Looking at them, these Oilers, they have a man advantage. Another 1:20 left in the power play.
Just look at the talent out there, would you? All superstars except Smith.
Smith is playing up there on the left side on the power play. The extra man. And Coffey is coming out. So is Mark Messier. Messier, Anderson, and Gretzky go in there. Pass back to Coffey. Shoot! That one off the crossbar. And into the crowd. This program is copyrighted and is strictly for the private use of our audience. Any reproduction, retransmission, distribution, or exhibition in whole or in part without the express written consent of the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation is strictly prohibited.
The Oilers have a great number of excellent skaters, but only two of them tonight have been going at all, and that's Messier and Coffey.
Messier sets his play up with his speed, goes to the corner, gives it to Coffey. He lets it go. He's got Troy Gamble beaten, but it goes off the crossbar. A hard hit off the bar and up over the glass.
Puck stolen near center ice by Peterson. He tried to pass it in front of Coffey. Has some speed up. Gretzky with him. Back to Coffey. Coffey going into Anderson. Right to the goal mouth. And the goaltender, Gamble, just knocked it away. Moog will leave the net now to flip this one out to Smith. Smith circles in front of the goal. Comes to center. To Anderson. Gretzky is in front of the net. Anderson didn't play it. Now he gives it to Gretzky back to the goal. He tried to jam it in off the goaltender. That's what he tried to do as Gamble came over to move on the post.
Troy Gamble made a good play there, holding on to the post, getting his foot out in front of him, keeping the outside foot right up flush against the post. That way it won't bounce in off you and go into the net. I guess they aren't going to retire my number, Howie. There it is. Troy Gamble's got my number on. Basic goaltending here, Howie. You can see Troy Gamble. He's got that arm around. He's tight. He's got the stick out in front of him. Just like at your hockey school, Howie.
That's right. Stay on your feet, hang tight, squarely face the puck, and if you don't block that short side, the puck's going to hit your stick and go in.
Still 23 seconds left of the power play for Edmonton. Messier after it. From the corner, looks back to the line. There's Curry. To the other side, back to Curry. The right-handed shot. He couldn't handle the puck properly on that pass. It's a little bit hard right in around his feet.
Bob, I've heard you say on 3 or 4 occasions tonight, Curry couldn't handle the puck properly, and I kind of think that visor is causing him all kinds of problems. 3 or 4 times tonight in front of the net, he's had goaltender beat Gamble, and going from his forehand to his backhand, he's lost the puck. Several other occasions, there's been a hard pass right on the stick, and he's lost the bounce on the darn thing. He's having trouble.
I mentioned a little earlier about some of the other 500 goal scorers in the National Hockey League. Of course, Lafleur was another. He did it in 918 games. Busick and Nikita also got on a roll. Gretzky has 499 now. This is his 575th game. He has 2 tonight. And the Oilers lead by a 2-1 margin. Puck slides down the ice. Icing way dog. Teams at full strength, and there's Kuchelniski stopping one. Racing over there is Tandy, not in time to clear it out, though. Lance doesn't see it. Fired away from in front of the net by Petit, and then Vancouver just dump it in. Sutter going up, looking for it, and he finds it back to the net. Nearly got a pass in front. Tandy quickly fired it, and he fell. The Oilers are out. Good work by Curry coming in. To Kuchelniski. Back to Curry. Went right to the goaltender. Gamble made the 6 save. Coffey to Kuchelniski. Shot deflected off the net. Messier bumped his man off the play. There's Messier. Nice move by Messier. Tried to beat Lidster. Kushelniski to the line with it. Fogelin slapped it back to him. Kushelniski left it there. In back to the goal. And the Canucks try to bring it out as they near the 6-minute mark of the third period. Coffey is there to break up the play. Now Butcher. His long pass is in across the line. Brett Peterson after it, centered it. And Moe covered on the short side, hugging the post. McTavish didn't clear it. The tee shot. That's wide of the net. Napier over there bumped his man off the puck. Trying to kick it out, and he did. He got it out across the line. The tee fired it back in. Moe can't stop it. Canucks after it. In the corner is Lowry being bumped away. Fogelin, not a good play. The tee shot. Blocked in front by Coffey. Or rather, Fogelin, who tried to cover up for that error. Boy, did he make a bad pass. Right across the line, through the middle. Nobody there. The Canucks nearly tied it right there. Still 2-1 though. Edmonton. That's Tambellini coming out with it. Drives one in. Moe, no problem. Canucks want to make changes. But Moe kicked that one out. And it's McTavish coming in. McTavish tried to pull his way through the defense and lost it. There's McTavish once again. In there this time. Napier shoots off the leg. Napier drilling the shot, having been set up by McTavish. McTavish again after the loose puck. Turning around. Good shift for McTavish. Still with it. McTavish. Sundstrom trying to pull him in on the boards now and can't do it. Napier, one hands it in front. Finally, they lose it. Smeel is away for Vancouver. Smeel in. Tried to set it up. Smeel again. Low fell. Over on the far side is Sweetnall. Gave it to Smeel. He centered it. In front was Sundstrom, but they covered up. And there's no further play. Both teams had chances on that last shift.
In the unpredictable scores department, Bob Probert moves on Rick Green. He doesn't get anywhere, but the puck is what counts, and Gerard Gallant finds it and puts it in the net. The Red Wings have come back to lead.
Again, Moe covering up. Mentioning that 500-goal plateau, we talked about Bossy and Howie alluding to the fact that he thought that Bossy was the hottest scorer he's ever seen. Certainly hot, and look what Gretzky is doing. 647 games he had his 500. He's got another one tonight. He's got 703 now total. What a trigger man. Ooh, boy. Canucks in. They'd love to have a Bossy out there now. They just can't buy one. Messier behind the net, dumping it to the far side, and Spurry. He's covered. Muni takes over, goes around the goal. Tries to come out. Messier is hurt over there. He got up, fell down again, and I'll tell you, he is in great pain. Messier was dumped to the ice. He was a game kind of guy. He tried to get back up, and you know, he stumbled. I saw him stumble, and then he turned around and tried to get up a third time and stumbled and fell.
He looked like a boxer that had just taken a great right hand to the jaw. Totally lost control of his feet.
Appears to be okay under his own power. He goes to the bench.
No.
There's Mark Messier on the bench, and you're right, Howie, he was nailed on the jaw. If you look to the upper left of your screen, we might see what happened right by the blue line. Boom.
Boy, he got a shoulder pad right in the jaw.
And he was groggy. He's on the bench now. Gretzky is in on the net now. Dumped it, tried to bank it off the goaltender, Gamble. But he stopped it. And what do we have here? Another penalty to Vancouver, I believe.
Garth Butcher, a cross-checking call here in front of the net. He's taking Esa Tikkanen. I think it's Garth Butcher going to the box, taking his man a little too aggressively. Rich Sutter's down on the Vancouver bench being attended to by Larry Ashley. He was looking at his shoulder, and it must have been Rich Sutter's shoulder that hit Mark Messier. Or maybe his head. You can see Larry Ashley, the trainer of the Canucks.
He's looking into his eyes with a flashlight, and I would think maybe he's a little groggy as well.
There's the second flashlight. Messier being checked over by Peter Miller. The two colliding at the blue line, the Edmonton blue line. Boy, Messier, it was frightening to see him try to get up and stumble around. And like you said, Howie, like a boxer who had been nailed, he was very groggy, fell, got back up, fell again, and for the third time got back up. And couldn't stay on his pins. But he's shaking it off. The Edmonton bench. All right, then, Edmonton now, power play, leading 2-1. We're in the third, nearing the 9-minute mark. Gretzky, Anderson, and Tikkanen up front go in there. Coffey, one defenseman, at the blue line, stopping this. Anderson is on it. He knows where Gretzky is. The far side. Putty to Coffey. That didn't work. Nearly set up a clear break for Skriko. Skriko shoots it down the ice now. Sandy and Sundstrom come on. Here's Coffey. Here's Anderson. Gretzky on the play near the line. Anderson comes this way to Coffey. He has to whip it off the boards and back to the goal. Gretzky to the line. Smith misses it. And it's out near center. Again, Coffey. Looking for Gretzky. Here he is. Offside goal.
Rick Lance just got a piece of that long pass. He anticipated well. Rick Lance broke his jaw earlier, and he's playing with a visor and a football-like guard to protect that jaw. I talked to him earlier. He says that he has problems breathing more than anything else with that jaw being wired earlier. Still recovering from that.
There are times when Rick Lance looks like he's going to be a great defenseman. He does everything right, plays extremely well behind the blue line, makes the pass come out of the zone, and plays great offense on the offensive blue line. The trouble is, it's not consistent enough.
I don't have to tell you. You saw Messier is back out there. So he shakes it off and skates away to the right side, waiting for the pass. It goes to Krushelnyski instead, and he comes this way. Curry in. Coffey has it. Shoots. Gamble tipped that one away. Brent Peterson skates out across the line and will go back again. Still 30 seconds left of the Vancouver penalty, and Moog has to handle this one. Leaving it for Curry. 2-1 is the score. Edmonton leading. And Curry to Gretzky. Gretzky takes it on his skate. Goes in there with McTavish. Back to the line. Coffey hit the goal post. Curry got the goal. After Coffey hit the post. After Gretzky shut it up.
I don't know. Gretzky gets everybody on the ice, chasing them, looking his way. He led them all to the left side and then just popped it back to Coffey, and Coffey let the shot go. Now watch Gretzky here. He'll just go to his left, and the great timing here of Coffey. These two work extremely well together. And for a change, Curry's positioned himself in the right spot. The rebound come off the post. He had no trouble getting the Oilers' third goal.
And Curry's 12th of the season. Coffey and Gretzky. 9:46 the time. That makes it 3-1. Power play goal for Edmonton. Offside up the Edmonton line.
Mike Krushelnyski made a good play on that one. He positioned himself in front of the net, helped Curry set up the goal.
Hockey Night in Canada returns in a moment. This is Bob Cole at the Northlands Coliseum in Edmonton, along with John Garrett, Howie Meeker, Don Cherry, and Dave Hodge. We'll be having our updates for us. The Detroit-Montreal game. As Vancouver now down 2 goals, come in on the attack. Pass by Skriko, broken up and cleared down the ice. Bartell is back, fed it ahead. Skriko on the wing. Barry Peterson went in there. He has the Vancouver goal tonight. McTavish waited too long and couldn't clear it out. Lowe watches that one rattle off the boards and all the way down the ice. Icing is waved off. Smith will go in there. Big winger forechecking. Took his man T in on the boards. Very lightly though. Pass to center. McTavish grabbed it. Flipped it back. Tried to hit Napier. He didn't get to the hole in time. Now Napier swings from the blue line. Napier goes up across the Vancouver line. Napier waits, That pass goes back off the boards to Huddy. McTavish has it, centered it. And covering up is Lidster. Lidster got a pass away. Vancouver trailing by 2. Moving it in across the line, and Huddy back. Huddy, though, nearly gave it away. There were 2 forecheckers in there for the Canucks. Butcher has to hurry back. And he does. Icing called. Tonight's game is coming to you from Edmonton. Gretzky has 2 goals. Curry the other. Barry Peterson has scored for Vancouver Canucks. 3-1, Edmonton. 8:44 left. That's Sundstrom 17 against Krushelnyski. Sundstrom winning the draw. The Oilers on it quickly. That's Anderson. Got it out of the zone. Gretzky moving after it. It went through his legs. And it's fired in by Rick Lance. Coffey to Anderson. And 3 Oilers come to center. Gretzky takes the pass. Into Tikkanen. Set that up perfectly.
A great 3-way play by the Edmonton Oilers. Gretzky, Anderson to Tikkanen in full flight. And when Tikkanen's skating, there's not many guys that can catch him. Anderson gives it to Gretzky, and Gretzky a nice little feather pass to Tikkanen coming towards him. And Tikkanen just slides it under Troy Gamble. You see the Canucks are standing still at the blue line, and the Oilers are coming in at full speed. Pretty hard to recover then.
Well, when you get an additional fella, you have Gretzky who can read the situation, anticipate. You've got Curry, you got Anderson, you got Messier, and you got Coffey, and you add Tikkanen to that. He's an awful dangerous hockey player. He read what was going to happen, and it was in the right place at the right time.
Gretzky now coming in with Coffey. Gretzky a chance. Oh, the goaltender fooled. And he went for the far side for goal number 500 and just missed. Field now with a shot. That's stopped by Mold. Anderson put it on the glass. Gretzky is up on this play too. Coffey in. Dropped it though, but the wrong way. And Greg goes back. That last scoring play, Tikkanen from Gretzky and Anderson at 11:38. And it's 4-1 Edmonton. They're leading 4-1. Barry Peterson has scored for Vancouver. Rick Lance behind the net. 7.5 minutes left in the third period. Pass to center ice. Pretty good move by Sandlak. It's dropped over in front of the net, though, and the Oilers clear it out. Lance is back there again. Lowry turns to the left. And Vancouver trying to get something going. They're in a big hole now, though. Late in the third, Huddy goes in, leaves it, Krushelnyski. He tried to feed it over to the right side to Curry, who was behind everybody. This is Tambellini. Score! Right through the legs of Andy Mold. And the Canucks do not give up.
Well, Larry found the 5-hole, and I've been asking our director downstairs to get me Andy Moog because I just think he's a tremendous goaltender. He's fallen a little into disfavor here in Edmonton, and here's Tambellini now. He'll just tee it up and shoot it in the general direction of Moog, and look at the great big hole between his legs, and he had the goal stick there, though, but I guess it was just over the blade of the stick between the legs and in the net. But I just think Andy Moog's a tremendous goaltender. Over the years, when they alternated Moog and Fuhrer, very little to choose between them. I would be interested in your reaction to that, Garrett.
Well, Andy played pretty well over the years. This year he has struggled, and on that play, I think, well, he just misread it a little bit.
The scoring play came at 12:56. Rick Lance got the assist on Tambellini's third of the season. Vogelin had to be careful. Oilers are on the move again. Huddy with Hunter. Hunter got by Squeako. Squeako stays with him. Hunter with the puck. Played it around and up to the other side. Once again in the corner. It's centered right to Rick Lance. Lance for Vancouver. Fired a pass ahead. Kulak didn't get it. Hunter is turning around in the center ice area. McSorley backhands it in for Edmonton and goes to the Edmonton bench. Tikkanen, Anderson, and Gretzky are on the ice again. With 6 minutes left in the third period. Here's Anderson with Gretzky open. Oh, he's robbed.
I just think he was in way too close. Gamble did the only thing he could possibly do. He just went down to the ice, but the key is he stuck out his stick. He knew Gretzky was going from forehand to backhand. He made a great play. John?
He stuck out his stick and his arm, Howie. He forced Gretzky to go through him. And you can see he gets it with his catching hand, but Gretzky couldn't pull it past his stick. Troy made a great play there, the Johnny Bauer poke check.
Takes great presence of mind as the attacker's coming at you to slide that stick hand up the stick and grab it at the top, and then if opportunity presents itself, you use it.
Especially you know it's Wayne Gretzky. You have time to look and see, and Gretzky's coming in. You never know what he's going to do. Troy has played fairly well, I think, for his first game in the NHL.
Vancouver trailing by 2 goals. In there again. Big stop by Moog there. Puck bounced high and just missed coming back in. Sandlak had a chance. But again, the Oilers are out. And Gretzky is up there with Krushelnyski and Anderson. Back to Gretzky. Fires it. That hit a leg in front. And the Canucks bring it out. Lowry out to center. Trying to go in himself. Dropped it back. Cavallini's shot. Cavallini bidding for another. Here's a pass in front of Moog. Had to be careful. Lowry on top of him. Lowry in the crease area again, being checked by Greg. That's Cavallini. Lost it. Gretzky nearly picked it up over there. Now the pass hitting Gretzky near center. Gretzky comes this way, ramps it. Everybody is falling all over the place as he shifts one way and then another. Into the Vancouver zone with 4.5 minutes left, third period. Gretzky has 2 goals tonight. Number 498 and 499. But he nearly knocked it in his own net. Hockey Night in Canada returns in a moment.
You see the 3 Montreal Canadiens in front of Patrick Waugh. 2 others are in the penalty box. The Detroit Red Wings on the power play, and Lee Norwood's shot gets through. It's 4-2 in favor of the Wings, but it's not over. The Canadiens battle back. Shel Dahlin finds a loose puck in front of Glenn Hanlon. 4-3 Detroit, third period at the Forum.
What a big game for the Detroit Red Wings, that one, if they can hang on. 4:24 left of this one. The Oilers appear to be in control, but you know, one quick goal and like this happens. Here's a chance. Moog out. He covered up, but it's still not out. Another shot. That's blocked in front. Messier is behind everybody, but couldn't get the pass. Gamble out of the net to clear it. Up the line. Fogelin slapped one behind the goal again. Messier centered it. Smeel is going to bring it out for Vancouver. Got it to center. Flipped in by Skriko. Napier's back there. Skriko after him. Smith just lifted one out to center ice and down inside the Vancouver zone. 3 minutes, 40 seconds left in the third. 4-2 Edmonton. Backing up for it now. Kevin Lowe has to be careful again. Vancouver trying to get one here. Tandy from center ice, turning, flipped it in. The shot by Sundstrom is deflected off the net, and Smith is behind the goal again. Clearing it to Napier, still not out. Now they'll clear it out. Just dumping it to center ice was Kevin Lowe. They'll have to try to do it again. He gets back to cover up. Sundstrom got away from him. Sundstrom behind the net. Still in control. Nice play by Sundstrom. A low shot. That's off the goal. Butcher took a shot. Then there's another that Moog had to pick away. And Gretzky turns and takes over. Twisting and turning to center. The crowd up again as he gives it to Anderson. Anderson tried to barrel in there and couldn't. 2:40 left. Third period.
I don't think there's a doubt in anybody's mind, whether they're here at the Coliseum watching this or watching it at home in the comfort of your living room, that the Vancouver Canucks have had all kinds of opportunities to have this hockey game tied.
They sure have, but the old story, Howie, they've had trouble scoring all year. They've only scored 60 goals. And the wrong guys, I think, have been getting the best chances. Sandlak and Lowry have had some great chances. Tony Danny, I don't think, has had one quality scoring chance all night.
The more you watch that Edmonton Oilers club. They have just tremendous movement when they've got the puck, and they're always creating openings and putting the puck into that opening. They read each other's minds and intentions and actually what they're going to do and what they do so well. It scares you.
Gretzky tonight on several occasions has had checkers dizzy.
Here he is. Gretzky faking the shot, and 3 people fell in front. It's in front, and the gamble had to come out big.
Right there is a prime example of Gretzky reading plays, faking the shot. And did you see 3 Canucks go down to block it?
3 Canucks went down to block it. He set up Coffey. Coffey makes a great play, too. As Howie was saying, these Edmonton Oilers know what to do when they get it. Coffey throws it across. Anderson knocks it down with his glove and is still able to get a good shot away. Troy Gamble makes another fine save.
I guess their object is to get everybody watching the puck carrier, get them out from in front of the net, and make that fake, and then make the pass to somebody and throw it at the net, and there's Anderson home free. No one within 10 feet of him.
Gretzky remains on. He has 2 goals tonight, along with 2 assists. Got the face-off. That one looked a bit jumpy in front of Gamble. It took a funny bounce off the stick. And young Troy Gamble, the 19-year-old from Medicine Hat, Alberta, playing in his first NHL game against Glenn Saylor's Edmonton Oilers.
It was obvious Gretzky was putting the puck at the net, but he didn't tell Anderson.
Now Litster passes to the left side. It's dumped over here on this wing. Sandlak didn't get there in time. Coffey is going to get some room and then tried to pass it to Gretzky. Stopped by Tambellini. Coffey took him out of the play effectively, though. Anderson tried to tip it out for Gretzky. That didn't quite work. 2 minutes left in the 3rd period. Here's Gretzky. Anderson coming. Gretzky going in. Is tied up by Butcher. And Coffey waits for the Oilers to get on side. Coffey now takes his time. Long pass again, intended to the far side with Sandlak, and went over the boards near the Vancouver bench.
I said it earlier, gentlemen, but my oh my, is that Gretzky ever quick with that puck when it's on his stick. He just turns people inside out, lightning fast.
Quick hands, and when he gets the defenseman to look down at the puck, they're totally lost. He turned Dave Richter around earlier in the game. Garth Butcher made a good play, I thought, that time on the one-on-one. He looked him in the chest, took him out effectively.
A minute and 35 left in the 3rd, as young Gamble covers on that one. Here's Krushelnyski leaving it. Here's Curry moving in. Shoots it right up the goaltender. It comes loose again. And Gamble, who came out to cut the angle on Curry, made the right move. He gave him little to shoot at.
What a beautiful backhand pass Messier made to Krushelnyski to put him home free. Krushelnyski saw the hole, and Messier knew he was going there, and he just a little dump pass, and he was home free. Great.
It's to Yuri Curry, Howie, but the end result's the same. Curry has a great chance. Gamble closes the legs. The rebound's there. Krushelnyski jams it through, but Michel Petit is behind the goaltender. He's able to clear it into Troy Gamble, or that would have been another Oiler goal.
Not too many people are able to make that backhand pass, but he made it in the air. Well, harder.
Puck knocked down by Gamble. Dumped it off to the defenseman who cleared it up along the line, but Huddy was there to keep it in. Gamble this time gives it to Petty. He got it out. Near center ice, Peterson has stopped. Oilers, Messier is in with Krushelnyski. Messier turning around with it. Goes to the corner. He was with him. It's centered. And grabbed by Peterson. Less than a minute to play in the 3rd period. And the Canucks shooting it in, and here comes young Gamble out of the net. The Canucks will have the extra man on. Gretzky is on the ice with the net empty. Down at the other end. He's working around, trying to get loose. And it's tied up down there. Puck comes loose. 36 seconds left. It's centered. Comes to the line. They want to get Gretzky on that puck with the net empty. Vancouver nearly scoring. There's Smeal. Now Curry. Gretzky is moving out. Gives it to Gretzky. Gretzky shoots. Goal! Number 500 for Wayne Gretzky.
You called that one, Robert.
The big celebration continues.
in 575 games. Nobody does it better. Nobody has done it faster. Wayne Gretzky.
I thought Curry made a heck of a pass to him as well. Curry picked up the puck and spun around with it and looked for number 99 and put it right in the stick.
Listen to this crowd. The time of that goal, number 3 on the night for Gretzky. As you look at it again, where's Gretzky? There's Gretzky. Where's the net? Here's the net, and there's 500.
You notice how he dragged it over the red line just so it wouldn't be icing. That just shows how smart, how calm, cool, and collected. Here's a guy going for his 500th goal. Empty net. He takes it over the red line so it's not icing and shoots it in the empty net.
The method he used to get over, instead of putting the puck well out in front of him in case the Vancouver defenseman charged him, he put his body across first and then shot the puck from behind him.
10 seconds left in the game, and Gretzky is up there again. Peeking into Gretzky. He set it up for Coffey. The puck goes off his stick. And the siren goes to end the third period, end this hockey game. And the Oilers, led by Gretzky again, win it 5-2.
Well, Wayne Gretzky, the hero of the night, and yet when you sat up here and watched it, I don't know whether you got the same feeling at home, folks, but he was just cruising. It wasn't vintage Gretzky, but you knew he was going to get the 3 goals. As soon as he got that first goal, first shift, I had made up my mind, hey, he's going to get 3.
Wayne Gretzky, 5 points on a night when I agree with you, Howie. He didn't play as well as I've seen him play before, or with as much drive. 5 points, 3 goals, and his 500th of his career. And I was just glad to be here to see it.
Ditto for me. In just a moment, our Molson Cup 3-star selection.
Cup 3 stars, as chosen by Dick Chubet of the Edmonton Sun. Tonight's first star with 3 goals, number 99, Wayne Gretzky. Tonight's second star from the Edmonton Oilers, number 4, Kevin Lowe. And tonight's third star from the Edmonton Oilers, number 10, Esa Tikkanen.
Well, I don't know about Wayne Gretzky, but the rest of the Oilers were certainly cruising, yet they come up with their 3rd straight victory over the Vancouver Canucks, who get totally frustrated because usually they outshoot Edmonton, and at times they outplay Edmonton, but they don't really come too close to beating Edmonton because of the great players that the Oilers have, and Wayne Gretzky is, of course, the greatest, and he proved that yet again in another way tonight by reaching the 500-goal plateau in 575 games. The Oilers beat the Canucks 5-2, and Hockey Night in Canada will return in just a moment. Wayne Gretzky was in on all 5 Edmonton goals. He scored 3 of them himself, assisted on the other 2, of course. He has 51 points now, and of importance tonight, he has 500 career goals right on the nose in less than 600 career games. Congratulations. Your first one came against Vancouver, which you remember. Your 500th comes against Vancouver. When you get close to 1,000, the Canucks want to see no part of you. How do you feel about this?
Well, I'm pretty excited. I think that I'm happy that finally I contributed. I think that the last 4 or 5 games I've played not very well and haven't contributed as much as I should be contributing to the team. And tonight I got a break early in the first period, kind of a fluky goal, and got a second jump and got into the game better tonight.
As you're at 500, do you look further and have a total in mind where you'd like to be when you decide you don't want to play this game anymore?
I said to some friends last week that you know, the 500 is always a nice plateau, and there's only a few hockey players that have reached that. But I think when you get to 700 and 800, there's only a couple guys that have done that. Those are the real superstars, and those are the great players in the game. But I guess the 546 will probably be the goal that I'm aiming for. I was such a Gordie Howe fan, and I remember back when Gordie broke 544 and got his 545th, and I guess the 546 goal will be kind of special to me because Gordie is such a great player.
Your stats this season are being compared quite closely to Mario Lemieux's, or vice versa, I guess is a better way to put it. The Hockey News will come out with a big Gretzky versus Lemieux cover next week, and a lot of people are starting to make those comparisons. How do you react to that?
Well, comparisons will always be part of the game, and it's something that we'll never get away from, and I'm going to have the people that back me and defend Wayne Gretzky, and obviously he's going to have the people that back him and defend Mario Lemieux. I go out there and do what I can do best, and you know, everybody keeps talking about passing along the crown or passing over the title, but you know, so far I'm still ahead and I still have it, and until somebody takes it away from me, I haven't passed it.
Do you like the fact that it's not a lead pipe cinch, that you're going to win another scoring title and another Art Ross trophy? Is there something good about the fact that there is a challenger on the horizon?
Well, Mario is a great hockey player. He's been a good asset to the game and helped save the Pittsburgh franchise. There's no question. If he can do what I've done in the past, and my hat's off to him, and I'll shake his hand.
I don't know that I've ever asked you about an injury. You've missed, what, 7 games in your career, but there is this story now about a toe that bothers you, and it hurts to put the skate on and to move around in it, and there's been some talk you might want to take some time off and get it looked at or something done to it. Tell us how you feel about that.
Well, I don't like to make excuses. I think that everybody plays with pain, everybody plays with some injuries. We had a guy, Lee Fogelin, that played in a playoff series with a broken wrist, so my injury is minor, but it's still something that's nagging, and as I said, the last 10 days I haven't contributed very well, and you know, the toe has been a little bit of an effect, but it's really not a very good excuse.
Well, have a look at yourself, score a goal that the Hockey Hall of Fame and all hockey fans will want to see, and we'll watch from now till never, I guess. Wayne Gretzky scoring goal number 500. There will be plenty more to come, I know. Let me ask you about the team and whether you're satisfied with what it has done so far this season.
Well, we're in a little bit of a situation where people expected us to come out and be undefeated. I think that you know, there's a lot of different circumstances this year in the National Hockey League. First of all, the league is a lot better than it's ever been. I said to a teammate last week, we go on a 5-game road trip and there's no easy games anymore. You used to get that odd easy game and know it's going to be kind of a blowout and kind of a break, but you don't get that anymore. Every game is tough. We're a little disappointed in our play on the road in that the 6 of the games that we lost on the road, out of the 7, we led going into the third period, and it wasn't a case of playing poorly. It was a case of mental breakdowns. When you break down mentally against teams in the NHL like Philadelphia and Boston, Hartford, you're going to get beat. They're good hockey clubs, and we feel that we've played pretty well. We're in first place. We feel that if we can be first or second overall at 40 games, that look out for the Oilers in the second half. Will be a tough team to beat, but there's a lot of good teams, and as I said, we're taking the season a lot differently than we have in the past. Glenn is resting some guys and not playing as much as we have in the past, and you know, if you get in the playoffs, that's what it's all about, and unfortunately the regular season is tough because we have to allow so many teams in the playoffs, and everybody's resting good players, and I guess the Oilers are following that also. You got a big black X mark on the calendar for Monday night. You have to go to Calgary, and that has to be a nagging concern with what has gone on in the past this season. I think that the games in Calgary we have to treat a lot differently. I think that it's no question that the rivalry is there, and their hockey club gets up for our hockey team, and because we've beaten them so many times in the past, they definitely wanted to beat us. And to us in the past, there were games that we played, and we just went into them as another hockey game. Now we have to have the same attitude that they have against us. They don't like us, and we have to get that attitude against them. And if we don't have that, we're going to get beat every time we play them. They're a good hockey club, and they got good goaltending, and it's tough to play in that building. And we better be hungry, and we got to do all the little things. Though we got to go to the net, we got to win the puck in the corners, and we can't take unnecessary penalties. If we do that, we feel very confident. This was a pretty good warm-up for you for that game in Calgary. 3 goals, 2 assists, including goal number 500 for Wayne Gretzky. We'll let him